I would have been remiss just to hold on to it and not have that meeting with the agencies, because you're also enrolling right now, right? And you need to know what your funding level is going to be for the beginning of the program year, not December 1, because it's going to be really, really hard. And I'm not saying you can't enroll more children. You have that ability that you're building. You think about the funding associated with those children, and you have every right to do that. But what I have to do is be really clear on how many slots we'll be able to fund effective December 1. And that's why I had the meeting yesterday. What I also said in that meeting is I'm going to meet individually with you because I want to hear from you how you're going to work this out and what's your pathway forward. Because we want to work with you and partner with you to help us all get through this. The big issue, and this is what I said to everybody yesterday, we were under enrolled for a year plus, and I'm going to say plus, because DFSS, like many organizations, never rebounded from COVID. And we didn't get our enrollment back where we needed it to since COVID. They did 3 or 4 other rounds of federal funded enrollment initiatives before they got to City of Chicago. And we were in the last rounds because it looked like our numbers were going in the right direction. And then they started going in the wrong direction. And so just want to make sure that we level set what the numbers are. And so Head Start was at 1,489 for DFSS. Our new budget effect, or the number effective December 1, is 1,354, which is what was reported. We put our numbers directly into the Head Start enterprise system. They can see, but not only do they see the overall number, they see your agency number because it is by program that adds up to that number. So there's no mystique behind this. They know what our overall number is, and they can also see where your enrollment is. Early Head Start, 1,267, now 1,072. Okay. Early Head Start CCP was 1,100, and let me stop and say, yes, we were working on what's called a change in scope. Change in scope never got fully submitted. We were still trying to work with an organization and do some other work behind it, so we did not get it in. It is drafted in HSCS, but it was not complete. So we are trying to get them to rethink that one. And so the revised number is 749 for CCP. Early Head Start expansion, we were funded for 200, and we now are funded for 180. All of these were numbers that were in the system for March. Now, I will say that there was a little bump in a couple of them in April, but guess what? The cut had already happened before April report. They looked at March and made a determination on what our numbers would be. So that's where we've landed. So I, again, had the meeting yesterday. We'll be individually meeting with you. But again, you reported your enrollment for March. So look at that March number, okay? If you have multiple sites, look and see where that under enrollment was so that you can make some determinants about what you're going to do going forward. I will say there's a couple of people who will get a letter from the folks in the back. Have they gotten the letters, Angel? Okay, so as you were coming in, you were getting a letter from me that let you know exactly what your number is going forward. Because we wanted to not only have that conversation yesterday, but I promised to give you where you were in this mix here by funding source if you have more than one, so that you can go back, work with your team and figure out what you're going to be doing regarding the federal dollar and how are you going to operationalize this going forward. I'll stop for a moment and see what questions you have from anyone. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, for me? She's got them in the back. Yeah, Angel has them for everyone in the back. So just make sure you see Angel. And I'm asking you to sign that you got it. Okay, but we prepared a letter for each of you. And again, it was your March enrollment. So you go back home and they say, no, well, we were at this number. That's not what was reported for March. What Office of Head Start saw in Head Start Enterprise System is what they used to determine their reduction in our funding. 14 million is not hard to overcome. Please understand that. This is in difficult times. It's great to hear Head Start's in the budget, but they're already activating plans around the federal dollar. And so that's why I'm asking you, as I started off, please keep your eyes and ears open so you know exactly what's going on around you, right? And I got it on a Friday. I think you guys have heard me. They like to give me stuff on Friday because they like to ruin my weekend. I know that's got to be it. There's no other reason for everything to generate to the city of Chicago on Friday, but it does, right? And so we have to go through it, look at it, figure out what it is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm here now to make sure that everybody understands what has happened. My message to all of you is we have to remain enrolled. We can't slip in the other direction because you are then leaving it at risk for a secondary cut. Everybody heard what I just said? So when we meet with you, when you look at that number, that's your number that you must remain enrolled at. And we're going to work with you. We're going to do what we got to do. But if we go in the wrong direction, I would anticipate, because they're still trying to figure out a way to get to a certain budget allocation that they can do what they want to do within DC. And I don't want to give them any more. I really don't. I didn't want to give them this, but I definitely don't want them to come back and destroy it to the point that you are not even able to operate. So I really need you to work with me and my team and everything else that we're going to throw at you to try to keep us enrolled. We are co-sponsoring a workforce career fair. Again, how many of you have gotten notification? It was a pre one that's going to go out. If you have not, you will. Please be there and talk to people about your program because I know staffing is an issue, right? And so we're co-sponsoring that again. We're going to help, but we can only help, right? But just knowing that Jocelyn will be sending out notification and asking you to schedule a meeting so we can walk through. When you come, I need you to be prepared to talk about, you know what the number is and what is your plan to activate that number across your program. And what does it mean for your organization? Okay? Any questions about that? It's not the best news I can give you this morning, but I started off with, at least it's in the budget. See, my mom always said, give them sugar before you give them salt. I think it's coming from a both and let me say the survey that's submitted, and then Craig is also going in, his data team is trying to follow up everywhere they can to verify what the number is through phone calls, going into CARES, going into that document. And then where there's a question, they've been going back to agencies and asking questions about what is this number? Is this the right number? So that when we submit, we're submitting with the numbers that we know are correct. Yes. Who do you want them to talk to, Craig? Angel, if they have questions about the attendance report, who do they talk to? Who do you want me to refer them to? To Angel Jones Dotson. Okay, and she will, with her team, get to the bottom of it. Thanks, Angel. Any other questions? Do you have my federal? No, no, you don't. I'm just messing with you. No, the letters are only to the federal agencies, and it is directly related to this news here, okay? And I told everybody on the call yesterday, I have to do what I have to do. I'm talking to you now, but I do have to put that out there in the ether for everyone to hear this same message. One thing I want everybody to remember, enrollment is enrollment. Enrollment is enrollment. That's both funding sources, not just one. Yes, they took money back, but let me tell you that everybody is tight, and let's not give anybody justification or cause for taking money. So on your ECBG side, no, that's not up here. No, nobody came in and said, this is what we're doing. But I did tell you that they're going to do what very soon. Monitor. How many of you remember I said early childhood block grant, CPS is going to monitor you. They're going to want to look at files, real children, not just, I have 20. No, 20. And they want to see that they're eligible children. They want to look at your records. They want to look at your fiscal, right? They want to align and see whether or not one connects to the other. So again, we're going to be doing more work around that, but no, that's coming too. So let's not give cause for that one. So I'm going to ask a question. If I'm a PFA funded agency and I have a PFA classroom, what does my teacher need to have as far as a credential? I'm sorry, anybody? A Pell or a BA level 5 with, see how we go silent? A professional development plan and enrollment in a program leading towards that licensure, okay? Work with your staff to make sure that they're doing that last piece of it if they're not, because that's what they're looking for. Does a CDA count for a teacher in ECBG? No? Okay, so when I talk to those of you who are giving me paper that says that, you understand why I'm saying that, right? Not on ECBG for either PFA or PI. Let's be real clear, it's not acceptable on either one. The IGA is specific. Everything we've given you is specific about what the credential requirements are for that fund. Okay? All right. Any other questions about what's on here? I already said the president's skinny budget did not propose or eliminate Head Start. And then Secretary again had the opportunity to have to answer questions regarding it. And his response was, Head Start's really valuable, and so it's in the budget. And so everybody heard that nationally. That may have been a mistake, but it's recorded. So we'll see. But again, just because it's in does not mean they can't do some damage. So let's stay on top of that, people. All right. Any other questions on federal? Yes. From for federal? That's what they've already done. They've taken the money and each agency, based on your enrollment in March, is where you are funded for December 1. And that's why I'm going to be meeting with you. That's your new number. So, and it's Head Start, Early Head Start, Early Head Start Child Care Partnership, and Early Head Start Expansion, because each one of those grants were reduced. But the letters are in Angel's hands. If you have federal, please take it and start your dialogue at your organization. So when we meet, you can come with that information. Any last questions about that? No? Okay, thank you. All right. The city update. How many of you know anything about a press conference that happened? That's why y'all here. Like, I don't know, right? Yes, there was a press conference where Mayor Brandon Johnson did announce salary increases, and the salary increases were specifically for early childhood block grant funding. He also stated that they would be effective on your July 1 contracts. Oh, now y'all gonna write that down. They wasn't writing anything else down. And that's, she said. Yes. Stay in the room, and then maybe some people who are not here, but the 86 are those that are state funded through DFSS. They may be blended between Head Start and Early Head Start, but we have over 60 whatever, I can't remember the number off my top of my head, that are state block grant only. They have only PFA or PI from us. But the total 86 agencies, it's 85, let me be real clear, because there's one that doesn't have state block grant out of the 86. If you're state block funded, if you have PFA or PI, that's you on that board right there, okay? Now, we are working on making sure that we're able to get contracts out the door for July 1. What he announced was an investment by the mayor's office at DFSS to initiate increases. His goal has been working for the people, and the people, meaning those of you and your staff who are doing the work with our youngest citizens, right? And that's the workforce. And so he has initiated, and it was announced that this is what we're going to be doing. Takes time to get it done. That's why it's a July 1. I saw another hand go up over here. Yes. Sorry. The amounts. When we initiate your contracts, we will have to put that information in when you get your contract. And again, it's like we did before, when we did a 10%, 5%. I can't say that right now, because every one of you are cut from a different cloth right now. And so what we're doing is initiating the contracts. When we do that, it will explain to you exactly what it is that you are doing. There will be a column for you to understand exactly what the amount is for your staff. Yes. No, I'm just messing with you. That's what I was about to say. I want to see if there were any other questions about what you heard so I can follow up on what it is we're requiring you to do. Any other questions about what you heard? Yes. We're trying to get them out no later than sometime in June because we want the contracts initiate July 1. Okay? So to what Ken is mentioning, it's not just go home, have fun with money, right? I said workforce, which means salaries. And so how many of you in here are your salaries currently, your friends don't care if you put your hand up, are commensurate with CPS? How many of you? See how many hands are going up in here? So a lot of you have to do exactly what I'm about to say. It's going directly into salaries. We've been trying to get a movement on salaries. How many of you feel like you've lost any staff because you are not able to pay those wages? How many of you want, now more of you are raising your hands, right? That's what the work is about. It's trying to get us to a point where we know that people want a higher salary, right? And they will move to go do that, whether they want to or not. They will do it, right? And I know you all have had it happen to you. And so the only way for us to overcome this is as we have since 2019, when we've had additional funds, that's what we've been attempting to do is raise wages. But in order for that to happen, when the dollars hit your budget, you have to then do what? Initiate raises for your staff. Okay? So those of you who are currently commensurate, you're going to tell us what that is. We're going to look at it and we'll have a discussion about what you can do. But don't just go do it until you have a conversation, because we will have to look at that across the board. The other thing I want to say, we're talking all staff, I'm not just talking teachers. I'm not just talking teacher assistants. We're talking your workforce. Okay? And so when you get your budget, it will have an alignment to what you have presented before regarding staff that you are charging to DFSS for ECBG. And that is not just teachers on most budgets, okay? Your workforce is not just the teachers. You have other people who work for you, and we want to look at those as well. Questions? Yes. Yes. Mhm. Yes. July 1, right. And so what we're looking at is a July 1 to June 30th. And so you will get a budget that says July 1 to June 30th. You get another budget that says January 1 to June. Okay. July 1 to December and then January to June. Okay. Does that make sense? Because we have to split it. It's through June of 2026. Your budget will say June of 2026. Yes. No, and that's why you're in this room all at the same time, okay? No, we're not initiating salary increases for federal. When we look across federal, many of those staff, due to the credentials that they have, are where they are. We're not initiating that right now. One of the things we're looking at further in the year, and we have to work with our Office of Head Start on that, is looking at a one-time bonus is what was described in the conference, and that's what we're looking at. And that wouldn't initiate until December 1. But again, we have some work to do with Office of Head Start regarding that. That's why she's sitting up there. So she can bother me. Y'all can't see her back there, but that's okay. I love you. Any other questions regarding what I'm talking about right now? So we know that there are questions that you have, some of the questions that you may have asked in this room will be included in a FAQ or frequently asked questions. We will get that out so that you can have some information, both that you can talk to your board and policy and other people about what we're talking about so that they have the same information. The one thing that I always want to do, and you know that, is speak to the masses so that everybody hears my voice and then follow up with information, and it comes through CSD update. Okay? Any other questions? So where's the money going first? Oh, don't act like y'all didn't hear me. Salaries. Because you know your people listen to the news too. Uh-huh. They also heard it. And so cousin told auntie, girl, I was listening to the news and I heard something about they gonna give y'all some money. Don't you work in a program in Chicago? Right? Yeah, I do. Let me look at that news. Yeah, okay, so know that when things are public, they are public, not just you, but your staff and families hear that as well. And so we want to make sure that you have information where you can respond to questions first and then. You just wrote that down, didn't you? Stop it, Ken. I know you did. I know y'all can see they came aimed and ready to repeat the question so they can get the question so that they can go into my FAQ. So go ahead and read it, Kiki. Louder. Want the mic? Yeah, I'm gonna give her the mic. She's soft spoken.
Will future contracts be cost adjusted upward to account for these wage increases?
Her question, and I'll repeat it. Will future contracts be adjusted to account for these wage increases? Which means, is this moving forward? I will say the same thing that the mayor said. They're working right now with their budgets, and there's advocacy in everyone, and there's a whole lot of work around in the city of Chicago around salaries. But he wanted to make that first investment so that he can show that this is what he wants to do going forward, and they are working to make sure exactly what you're asking is that we are able to make those adjustments going forward. Take some work, people. Well, and it really is based on where your staff are. And that's why I'm saying you guys are all not, you're not cut from the same cloth. I'm sorry. What we're trying to get to, let me say this, we're trying to get to a level 5 PEL, it commensurate with CPS, where they were at 67,000 until they get their increase. So I'm just gonna put that out there. So 67,000, if you're at 67,000, then you're at 67,000 right now. Because we don't have the funding to continue to move beyond that. But if you're there, then we'll be working with you with the budget amount. But those that are beneath that, we're looking at those salaries. Now, I'm saying these are bumps. I'm not saying we're gonna get you all the way to 67,000. This money is not gonna do all of that because of the number of you that's funded. But that's for the 10-month or 12-month, however, because everybody's contract is different. Okay? But we have looked at all of that and tried to come up with what those percentages are based on what we know of your staff and where your salaries are at your organization. And so it's been a lot of work on the team, and they've tried to work it as best they could so that they could generate something where you can see where those salaries need to go. Okay? Any other questions? Yes. They can't sit together anymore. That's okay. Go ahead, I'm messing with you. Mhm. Okay, so for everyone in the room, what she's alluding to in the press conference, the mayor talked about a percentage, right? Because there's no way for him to stand at a mic, nor me right now, and say, this is what yours is gonna get, and that's what yours is gonna get, because you're not cut from the same cloth. And so he did give a percentage. He said, I think 5 to 10 or something like that's in there, because we've been working with the mayor's office to try to figure out what might it look like. They understand that you're not all cut from the same cloth. And so trying to make sure that when we're doing this, we've looked at your budget, we've looked at your salaries currently to try to come up with what might that look like for your organization in this pot of money, because it's not an endless pot of money that we have. Okay. Did you have your hand up over there, Trinity? No? Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, go ahead. Christine. Head Start cuts. Yeah, what I want you to do is look, this is a federal question. What I'm asking is that you look at your internal organization based on your funding stream from us. If you have multiples, you're getting something that says this one is this is that. Where are those slots going to be? And what does that mean for your organization? Are the questions that we'll be asking you to be prepared for. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. I don't think it's being recorded, or is it? It is being recorded, so I'm gonna stop talking. Yeah, it's being recorded. I'm sorry. I have to have some fun, y'all, because it's been crazy. My world has just been a little crazy. I don't know about y'all. Has your life been a little crazy? Okay, well, good. We're crazy together. And that's why I came, so I could be with the crazy. All right. Any other questions from anybody? Looking around the room. Again, we're going to follow up with an FAQ with some of what you've asked today, some of what we'd already put together. And we will organize that and we will get it out. For those of you who received an envelope, it's because you're federally funded. And we will be working with you. Jocelyn will be sending out emails attempting to get us a meeting so that we can talk about what it is and what your plan is and how we plan for it. And that was it for me. Thanks, everyone. I'm gonna leave now. I'm just teasing. I'll be here if there's any other questions for me. Thank you.
Help it, I got it. Oh, your finger? Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for picking that up.
Thank you, Frankie.
Yeah.
I would have gotten it,
Got it, good.
you know. That's what happens when you know. Just knock my coffee down with a fatal swoop. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? That was kind of heavy, a little bit, sort of, kind of, but it's okay. My name is Sheree Johnson. I'm the manager of program operations and quality. I am intentionally introducing myself because there are some of you who I've seen often and some of you I've only seen online recently, so I just wanted to reintroduce myself and say hello. So good to see you all. Sarita just mentioned about teacher credentials, right? So guess what we've created to support you with tracking your teacher credentials? Yes, we already have our own internal tracking mechanisms to track our credentials. Sure you do. But this is an added supplement so that our teams here at DFSS can support you with monitoring and tracking your teacher credential information. Hence, the creation of the new monthly teacher certification requirement document. So those of you who are familiar with reporting your manual attendance, right? In the Excel sheet for attendance in your programs, correct? Yes. We now have a new tab where you can also track teacher certification requirements or documentation for those teachers that you have staffed in your classrooms. We know for sure that some of you are using permanent staff, which is great. We also know that some of you are also using temp staff, which is cool. We also know that you're using Child Care Careers or some other agency to help supplement. Okay, great. We still have to make sure that those folks have the proper credentials to be in these classrooms. And that goes for federal as well as for state. Okay? This is for federal and this is for state. Yes, there are different requirements for those classrooms depending on the age of children and the funding tied to those classrooms. This is why we're relying on you to tell us what's happening in your sites. Just like you report attendance to us at a weekly cadence, we will be monitoring and looking at teacher credentials on an ongoing cadence as well to ensure that we're supporting you through what's happening in your sites. Okay, so we've listed some things to know. Who completes it? That's up to you to decide, right? Because I know certain organizations is flat out the site director is doing what site directors do, but then there are other organizations that have a set person that is responsible for credentials, a set person who supports with this type of function. So we have a general answer there. Whomever you have designated as a staff member at your site, if they need access to this sheet to enter in this information, be it you, be it someone else, you can let us know if this person needs access to the sheet. If you have any issues with accessing the sheet, we'll talk about that shortly. When? So this form has gone live as of May 1st. So you may have gone in there and you've already seen it like, oh, what's this? And some of you may have just clicked that and looked at it and just clicked off like, that's not me. See, I feel like I'm preaching to somebody in here. You saw it. The moment the slide came up, you should have saw the wave of foam that went up like, da, da. He's talking to me right now. Yes, I'm talking to you. Okay, the sheet has been there, but we're finally talking about it. We have a lot of agencies that we fund here at DFSS. So it took us time to get all the sheets up for everybody. So your sheet may have been there since the 1st of May. Congrats to you. Someone's sheet may have went live maybe 2 days ago. Congrats to you too. This is the full announcement to all of you. A CSD update also went out yesterday, informing you all that this is a new requirement. It's not necessarily new to you because you've already been tracking credentials, right? Yes. Right. Our education disabilities monitors, if they're in the room, they've already been out looking at your files and talking to you guys about it, right? Yeah. This is just a more solidified process that we can keep track and keep it going moving forward, okay? So this form will be due the first Monday of each month for the preceding month. So if that Monday is on a holiday, it'll be due on a Tuesday. It's following and mimicking the same thing for our attendance sheets, basically, okay? So the only difference is with attendance, you have your HR or SIA support service coordinator supporting you. But for this teacher certification, you have your education disability support service coordinator supporting you. And we'll talk about who those folks are in a moment. What's included? You will list each classroom staff member assigned for the month, along with their current credential, any specializations. Example, they have a BA in early childhood, their program type, the job title, classroom name, etc. When in doubt, if you hover over, and this will make sense once you guys look at the sheet, and I intentionally didn't include a screenshot of the sheet because I already knew y'all saw it. Yep, I'm talking to you too, yes, right? But those of you who haven't seen it, if you go into the sheet, you'll see for each of the columns where we're asking for information, there's a red little triangle. You hover over it, there's a hover feature that's explaining specifically what we'd like for you to list in that column. For instance, it'll say first name. You hover, it'll say list the first name, right? So that's easy, right? Last name, list the last name, cool. But it'll say, program type. They'll say specifically tell us what funding, da, 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 da. So there is a hover feature there to help support with this. Why is this important? We know why it's important. It helps verify classrooms. It makes it, us to ensure that we have the right folks caring for those children, supporting those children, and supporting you at your sites. Where can this be found? Again, this is found right alongside the attendance certification form. So this is not new. Again, you should be able to access that information. If you have folks accessing your attendance, again, you may have one or a few folks supporting your attendance tracking. You may identify someone else to do the teacher certification. That onus and responsibility is on you. We're not telling you who should do it because you have that accountability within your organization. Jackie, yes. Yeah. You see my deputy coming up here? That's intentional.
All right, when is CARES going to be up and running? So let me say this first. Right now, we are working with our vendor and working with the city of Chicago, because I was, what department, city of Chicago with our vendor, because right now they are not working. I'm saying that out here because again, we're trying to make sure that they're giving to us everything that we need within our system. And so some of the things that they were working on, some of the reporting, some with CCAP, et cetera, you all know what we're talking about. Right now, they're not working in the system. We're trying to work through contracting. So things are delayed. And I said all of that to say, once we get through all of this and they're back in the system, the goal is for them to finish all the work at the level of compliance that was required. And so that's what we're working on with them. So right now, my team is unable to work on some of the things that they were working on your behalf. As soon as we know more, we'll send out something again through CSD update, letting you know that we're starting work again. And maybe at that point, we will be able to get something from the vendor with some timing. But right now, we're not able to say that because of where we are today. Okay?
He's right. Sure.
So, so Craig, yeah.
Good.
I'm so sorry, but to tell you all who are doing it and seriously care. You walked over, she said, let me.
Yes, she had to put her arm around him just to help coddle him and tell him, she's so sorry. So let me say it, I'm gonna say it for Angel, so you all can hear. The question was, there was a small group of agencies who, due to their functionality in CSD Cares fully functioning, they were able to enter in attendance and enrollment for children. They had their classroom set up. They were rocking and rolling. It was a small group. Angel said it was about 13 to 15 agencies in which, we told them, hey, guys, you can step away from a spreadsheet because it's working for you. We're working on everyone else to get to where you are, but yay, you're in. Based off of what Sareka just said, and since the system is it works, it does work. What we have in the system, it does work. But as Sareka mentioned, in terms of enhancements and some of the things that we need in terms of various back-end functionality, it's kind of on a pause, which means that if you are in CSD Cares removed from the spreadsheet, I was going to send you a notice today telling you that due to system issues, we are interimly halting your entry of that information into CSD Cares and returning you back to the spreadsheet. On an interim basis, consider it a system outage. Sometimes when the system goes down and you say like, oh, I'm so sorry, the system's down. For now, use this. We are not holding anyone to spreadsheets forever. Our goal, I'm crossing my fingers and my toes in my shoe. Our goal is to get us back into the system, but until this is worked out, we will be returning back to that spreadsheet for you. That will be effective tomorrow. No. What we have recorded in CSD Cares, we have it. Okay, so that specific instruction will be coming out in an email by the end of the day today, first thing tomorrow. Between today and tomorrow, you'll get that notification. So I'm glad you lifted that question. I saw another hand go up somewhere and I don't know where. Yes, of course, Meg, what's up? Hello, Meg, sorry. Yes, so for now, the only thing that we are suggesting go out of CSD Cares in terms of what we know we need for the immediate is the attendance and enrollment. So that will mean we're returning back to the spreadsheet. If that changes, because right now the city of Chicago is working with DFSS to resolve this ASAP. If that changes, of course, you guys will be the first to know. So as of right now, continue utilizing CSD Cares because it is our data system. We're just asking for those of you who are already doing your attendance and enrollment in a spreadsheet, keep doing that. That message that we were just talking about was for the small group, 13, 15 agencies who we had pulled out of the spreadsheet and fully used CSD Cares. I saw another hand, yes. In the spreadsheet, yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Looking like the room is like, it shifted. Yes.
Our so I cannot ask, if we go back this week, I can start on Monday.
Sure, that's fine. Yes. So she was one of those agencies who was pulled out of the spreadsheet, so it was very specific to her. We good, all right? Again, back to teacher certification. It's found exactly where the attendance sheets are found. Or next slide, please. On the screen are the education disability support service coordinators who can support with the teacher certification. Our internal team has already talked through this. Your agency should be familiar with who these folks are. They're listed according to team. So team A is Jody, team B is Anya, team D is and David is Maria, team E is Grisella. Okay? Are there any questions on the teacher certification requirement? We know that there may be nuanced situations because each agency is different. So if you have any specific, questions or anything related, you're welcome to reach out to these folks or myself as the manager or Raven. Raven, raise your hand. She's in the corner over there. She's our Assistant Director of Program Operations. Okay. Let's talk about what I'm really excited about. Ooh, I'm so excited. How many of you know that we're planning for a pre-service event? Yay! How many of you have registered? See, y'all got one job. Okay? Yes, we are planning for a pre-service event. When this slide deck is shared with you guys, you'll see that pre-service blue hyperlink, if you click it, it will direct you right to the registration page for the event. Okay? Save the date, August 19th through the 21st. We're planning to be at the Palmer House, a Hilton Hotel, downtown Chicago. You gotta say it like that, like that, right? Additional information and planning coming soon. We are excited because we are ahead of the game. I don't know, I'm just excited about that because normally like, don't do your pre-service. Well, I already got it scheduled. No. We telling you now, yes. We know that CPS starts their school year on the 18th of August. We know that. Yes. We know you're trying to plan your own pre-service. That's why I'm telling you now. Save our date so that your date don't conflict with our date because we want you to do yours, but I definitely want to see you at ours too, right? Yes, we have sessions available for both federal and state funded entities, or if you have both, funding streams, cool. We want you there. Yes, if you register, which is why I'm telling you to register, people, register, because the next question is, well, what type of sessions you got for state? What type of session? I need some for my teachers. Well, you will know that if you register, because if you register, you'll have access to the schedule. Register. Okay?
I don't know which day though, look, which day is.
Hold on. What? See, I don't know what day is for teachers, what day is for, okay. Last year, because we were at a smaller venue, we had a specific day for education, a specific day for health and safety. This year, since the venue is bigger, we are trying our best to blend things across the 3 days. But again, once you register, you'll be able to see the schedule ahead of time. And that way you can plan on which days you want your teacher to go on this day, you want your office staff to go on that day, the maintenance guy to go on this day. That's why you're gonna register so that you know it ahead of time. Yes, ma'am. It hasn't come out yet. I told you we ahead of the game. Look, now you ahead of the game. Oh, damn. So, okay, next steps. Everyone's gonna register, okay? Once you register, internally, we have some things to do in terms of doing a call or request for presenters. Again, we're early. Once we get the presenters and we work with them to get their schedules and their content, we can then build out the schedule And then once the schedule is there, you will receive a link saying, hey, thank you for registering. Click this link to build your schedule. That's when you'll see the schedule. So I love that you're excited too. Because normally we send out for, register on a Monday and then you get the schedule on Wednesday. And no, we ahead of the game. That's why I'm excited. But you gotta calm down. She's like, I don't want to. I need to know now. I know. It's coming soon though. Seriously. Are there any other questions related to pre-service? No? I think that may have been it for me. Oh, go back. One more. I'm sorry. I have one more thing. During the same week, we typically would have our citywide parent policy council scheduled for that same week, as well as an EDPD, which is what you all are in now, during that same week. What we're trying to plan for is to have both of those events at the pre-service event. Okay, so there will be a session that will be available in the schedule that will say EDPD, but that will be only, it's a closed group because we don't want everybody in EDPD. We will be monitoring that. Not everyone will get access to that session, but that session will be specific for you. Okay, during that same week, and the same will apply for the parent policy council as well. Okay. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, Senior. So it's so important that you guys register, because what I'm finding out in doing these budgets is that we just need a little bit of assistance. Our fiscal people just need a little bit of assistance. So I'm throwing Claridon out saying we have fiscal community of practice, but guess what? We need a little bit more. So guess what? I'm going to join and serve to do a fiscal training. The reason why is because we have, no date yet, but we have an RFP that's coming out. When that comes out, it's going to be some specific things that I need to be turned in with that RFP that I seem not to get from you all right now. But I'm going over it in service. Everybody does a program narrative. Nobody does a budget narrative. It's all right, I got you. I'm gonna have examples and everything. I asked you guys for cost allocations because you guys asked me, can I charge part of my rent? Can I charge part of my supplies? And y'all send me the policy. Policy does me no good without a plan. The plan actually says how you're spending it. I got you. That's gonna be covered in service. My ECBG agencies, don't worry. I know you guys are doing budgets because I sent out the EA for you all to get your budgets for July 1st through June of next year. I'm gonna do a webinar. So y'all gonna be ahead of the game with some of the stuff that I need. Because I need cost allocation plans, not your policy. One of the important things you guys need to know is state is looking at us and really looking at you all. I was looking at some HR files. On somebody's HR file said they made $11.50. I haven't told my deputy commissioner yet. Y'all can't do that. Y'all know what minimum wage is? What is minimum wage? It's not $11.50 in 2025. I can tell you that. What? Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have staff that you are paying based on 1620, you're not paying them minimum wage and you're required to do so. That's why she's gonna do some of this work. Because we've been looking and you guys are keeping up with the changes.
Yes, for my ECBG agencies, if you have teachers or staff that do not meet the minimum requirement, I cannot bill. Right now, you guys don't get a bill saying give my money back. Things will change. They will change. So I need for the staff to at least have a minimum. You guys create performance plans for them to acquire, and then nobody follows through. Because I'm looking at it, and it says Sally Sue was supposed to have such and such because she was in school by 2024. I mean 2025. They still don't have it. It's okay. I got you. Federal CBOs, you have received emails from Data stating what still needs to be filled out. And your PIR, guess what? Our due date, DFSS, is August. Your due date is now. One of the questions I know people are asking, well, what is the last date I could put a kid on that PIR? Limke, what's the last date?
May 30th.
Okay, so your due date is May 30th. After that, don't put no more kids on there, because you know you ain't gonna have all the information nowhere. So let's just stop, May 30th. Please, pretty please, and thank you. On the ISB side, we have reports. Data has sent out emails. I need those to be completed as well, because CPS is asking for their reports earlier this year. So whatever they've asked you for, I actually need them. I need you guys to work on it. Oh, yeah, I was sitting in the back of my brain saying, when they send in budgets, they normally send in whatever they want me to see. No, the reason why I'm going to work with you ECBG agencies is because Gateway allows you to put the teacher's information in, and it gives you the credential policy. I'm gonna need that for this budget for June. Otherwise, I'm gonna need you not to charge, because I would hate to say I need you to pay me back. Okay? Because Ms. Davis hates when I hold up budgets. And she's back there sitting in the orange. She's like, hey, what's happening with this budget? And I'm like, man, they haven't responded. And y'all want to hear that? Call me again. Okay, ma'am, I called them today and they still haven't responded. So I need you all to work with me so she doesn't holler at me, okay? She did, yes. She will ask me, she will say 7 days, and it's been 7 days. This budget is still not submitted. I'll be like, oh God, she's gonna kill me. Oh, yes. Well, you still will submit the supplemental. The credential document is the support for the supplemental. So when I send it in with the bill, they say, oh, okay, we don't have to go to Gateways because I'm already giving it to them. Yes. Yes. But for you ECB agencies, because I know you guys are going to be doing budgets in June, don't worry. We're going to do a webinar for you all. I got you. Parent Policy Council, you all know we're doing self-assessments right now. Please encourage your parents to be a part and come and participate and enjoy and give ideas. We actually have it in person, not so I can get a turkey sandwich, but so that they can enjoy the warm weather and come out with the camaraderie. I forgot my boss to sit here, so they can come out and enjoy the camaraderie. So please enjoy them. Please encourage them to come out and help us. And we actually have it here, just so you all know. And so I already gave out everybody's agency, federal, I should say, federal folders. I already gave it out to my 23 federal funded agencies. I know you guys have questions. Guess what? I'm gonna purposely ignore my email tomorrow because I know that you may need time to formulate your question. But on Monday, by close of day, I want all questions to be submitted to me. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, JB will have already sent out invites for your one-on-one. That way I can be prepared when I meet with you all. Okay? Does that sound fair? Okay, good. Okay. Come on.
Thank you.
So on behalf of our Director of Health and Safety, B. Nichols, who is attorney, irritating, who is not here today. She wanted me to remind you all of the KSAC Health Services Advisory Committee culminating meeting taking place on the 4th of June, taking place on the 4th of June, Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities, 21st or 2102 West Ogden, 2 p.m. Okay, mandatory attendance for Head Start. You need to send at minimum one representative. Any questions on that? Thank you. Finance. She was real specific. She said the lady in yellow, look, she come on up, Sharon. That just means that she owned it, you know, she trying to make sure everybody get paid as she should. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sharon Davis, Supervisor of Accounting and Children's Services Funds. So today I want to speak to you about the expenditure and finances. FY 24 is closed out with the funder. Head Start closed out at 92% expended. Early Head Start closed out at 83%. CCP closed out at 74%, and expansion closed out at 80%. FY 25 Head Start is currently at 24% expended. Early Head Start is at 21%. CCP is at 19% and expansion is at 24%. So our state budgets, ECBG is currently at 59% and CCP is at 56%. These are closing out in June, so these are particularly low. So FY 24 Head Start, as I said, that is closed out as of today. And for the federal grants for FY 25, you should be invoiced by now through April 30th. All of your invoices should have been submitted by now. The accruals, if there were any for December who missed the January 1st deadline, those have been listed as accruals, so you can still submit those. Let us know if you have any issues. All in-kind reports should be reported monthly by the 10th every month. Child care. Please submit your exemption request by 5 days before the exemption date. And also your April 30th billings and exemptions need to be in by tomorrow. Also, your revised billings, any revised billings for this year should be in by today as well. And I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to update that last note, but if you can, please use your spreadsheets for your attendance. FY 26 and FY 26 child care and PFA, we are trying to get those award letters out mid-June, so we will keep you posted on those. FY 25 PI and PFA, you should be invoiced through April 30th at this time. And your final budget revision is today. Please get those in. Let us know if you're having any issues. Your final invoices should be submitted by July 18th. An iSupplier, you want to make sure that you have all of your information updated. An iSupplier and in MyCoy. Some agencies are only updating one or the other, but if you don't update both, that will delay your contracts, your invoicing, and your payments. You got to update both. Also, your iSupplier contacts should be updated as well, because we won't know if the voucher audit team over in City Hall may be trying to reach out to you. So you want to make sure that your contacts are updated in the system. And per your contract agreement, you should be invoicing at least once monthly. And you want to make sure that you're reconciling your invoices and iSupplier often to make sure that there's no deletions, no rejections. You just want to make sure that you're updating that. And also there's new iSupplier training dates available. The next one is going to be Tuesday, May 27th at 2 p.m. And you can go to the iSupplier link to get the training materials there. They have videos and also they have a a list of training dates for this year. And so our finance contacts, the accountants are Laverne for CCP Expansion and Corporate, Teresa Lopez for Head Start and Early Head Start, Selena Rowan for Child Care, and our newest member, Cassandra Molina, is on PI and PFA, and Laverne and Teresa are also assisting her still. Are there any questions from anyone? Thank you so much.
Sharon. All right, what other questions? Anybody? I know it was heavy, it was a lot today. Anybody? Wow, we shut them down, y'all. Again, I know it was heavy, but again, follow up. There will be meetings regarding federal. Again, you have your letter, go back, look at your organization, see what that impact is. We'll meet and talk about planning forward. Enrollment, and we have to remain enrolled. And we have to remain enrolled at the level we are, or we are in jeopardy again. PFA-PI, I know you've heard about July 1 contracts coming out, July 1 contracts that we did. We had already put in there your increase. We were already working behind the scenes, knowing that we were going to be announcing this to get the executive approval system started, which is what we do internally. And it takes multiple people approving it. They look at the dollars, making sure that everything's accurate in order to generate contracts. We didn't want those to be late. So we already started that process and moving it forward. And so your contracts will be generating, and when they do, again, look at them. See what it's telling you. Look at the column. You'll understand more when you're looking at it as far as what your expectation is for salaries for your staff. Okay? But we will, again, make ourselves available and avail ourselves to work with you as you're planning your budget that you're turning back. Okay? How many of you saw what the expenditure rates are for the state? How many of you feel like you've spent 100% of your money? Did a revision? That was my next question. How many of you have done revisions so that you can spend 100% of your money? How many of you still can do a revision so you can spend 100% of your money? You're sitting here like, I don't think we can. Angel's still going to reach out to some of you because we still want to make sure. Again, but this is an opportunity for you. For example, if you've had vacant staff positions that have just been vacant in your budget, that's just money that's going to waste, right? This was an opportunity for you to go, oh, maybe I can buy some supplies. Maybe I need to do X within my organization. And that's why she's been hounding you so that you can utilize the dollars that are in your budget. So if you now are sitting here going, oh, hadn't thought about it like that. Her name is Angel Jones Dotson, and she will work with you. They are due today. What does Sharon just say to you? If you need something, let us know, because we really want these dollars expended. Okay? Any questions about that? We're here for you. We're trying to support. I'm sorry. No. So remind you, as I said earlier, they will be monitoring. And when they monitor, they're going to be looking at your fiscal. And so where you have not expended, it will become evident that you're not expending your dollars, because you can't sit there and show your budget expenditures and then all of a sudden say, well, I didn't spend my money because I just didn't want to. Because they know our system, they know there's opportunities for budget revisions, and we told them that we're pushing to get budget revisions because we want you to use all your dollars. So again, if you have not today is the 15th, yes, they're due. If you're trying to do one, let Sharon know that you're gonna go back and work on a budget revision. Because when they visit you, there will be questions around the why are you not spending your money? Because of the underspend that we've had over the years on this grant, right? So if it's not expended this year, understand in your monitoring visit, have your response as to why not prepped and ready. Okay? But again, if we can help anybody else, at this 11th hour, we'll definitely avail ourselves to help you with that. All right? Are there any questions that any of us can answer for you before we say thank you and end the meeting? Anyone? All right, well, thanks again. I know this is difficult. Thanks for coming with and being with us. Let us know what you need. We're here for you.